Second Thessalonians, there we go. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse, don't cut back off. We should be good. Yeah. Second Thessalonians 2, if it cut back off, we'll delete some more stuff. Second Thessalonians 2 and 8, all right, so going back, we got cut off a little bit. But going back, the question was asked in Obadiah 1 and 6, how the things that Esau searched out and how his things sought up, right? Now, the answer to that is in 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 8. It says, then shall the wicked, all right, the wicked, let me go up to verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, so that man of sin is being revealed, who is what? The son of perdition, man. The wicked, all right, the devil, man. The deceiver on the earth, man. All right, the adversary, man. Satan, man. All right. It says, verse 8, then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Ultimately, he's going to take him out with those chariots. But, hey, being revealed with the spirit of his mouth, man. The prophets on the highways and the byways exposing this man. And not only that, you got his own tongue coming down upon him, man. You have some of his own people in his own government. What's that? Tulsi Gabbard? Can't pronounce her last name. Tulsi something, Gabbard or something like that, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. Hey, she's even coming out the woodwork exposing all these different things. Hey, these things wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for America with their nose over there and everybody else's business. All right, you have some of these whistleblowers and these channels and things like that that's coming out of the woodwork speaking on these things. All right, you also have other nations and other leaders speaking out on these things and going out, how do I say, on the main stage, how do I put it, on the major theaters of war, more to say, like the United Nations platforms and things like that are speaking out on these atrocities, man. All right, they're speaking on the world stage. There we go. They're speaking out on the world stage theaters, man, in these seats like that, man. They're not just, in their back rooms and their dinner tables talking about. No, they're going out to the world and saying all these things, man. All right, so hey, man, this here veil over this damn devil is being revealed, man. This ain't not the city of saints, man. This ain't the city of angels, man. This is the city of demons, man. Look what the hell you doing, man. Taking peace from the whole earth. But let's go back. Isaiah 14 and 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake as the kingdoms? All right. Let me read the next verse. That made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. I'm trying to think of that article where, damn. There was an article where they was talking about Biden and talking about the humanitarian aid, not humanitarian aid, let me see real quick. Let me find this article. I think this might be it right here. Hold on. It's the spirit right there. I just happened to open it up and it was right there to it. So let me read this here article real quick. Let me go back to, I'll read this here. Isaiah 14 and 16. All right. Hey, because now this damn devil is being revealed, man. All right. Isaiah 14 and 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? So now you're being exposed for who you really are. Now you're being exposed for the wickedness that you've actually done on planet Earth. Because look, there was that veil over these people's face that they would say, no, they're sending humanitarian aid to peaceful nation. They're doing all these different things. They're coming in love and spreading joy, and we're sending our missionaries over there to bring peace. All this BS, man. Like I said, man, hey, Habakkuk 2 and 5, man. He say he bringing liberation to your country, freedom to your country, democracy to your country. These are all buzzwords that they about to invade your country and bring death and hell, as the scripture says, man. All right, so here's this here article real quick. With the so-called snubbing of Vladimir Putin, but hey, now this coming back into your face, man. All right, this is that Isaiah 14 and 16. So it says, Biden calls Putin dictator. U.S. leader calls Russian president a murderous dictator in a speech on Capitol Hill. It says, I'll go back. U.S. President Joe Biden ramped up his rhetoric against Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday, calling him a dictator and a thug, just days after declaring him a war criminal, right? So think about this. Talking about, let's gonna get into it. says the U.S. and its allies are standing together against Putin, who is a murderous dictator, a pure thug, who is waging an immoral war against the people of Ukraine. Which this is all blasphemy, man. All right, for one, American allies ain't standing with you with this BS, man. They backing up off of this. They don't want nothing to do with this, for one. Two, it says the U.S. and its allies are standing together against Putin, who is a murderous dictator, a pure thug who is waging an immoral war against the people of Ukraine. Well, really, it's America who ran up in the Ukraine with their proxy war, all right, with their destabilization that brought this upon them, man. Again, Russia's on the defense, not the offense. It says Biden declared on Thursday at the annual Friends of Ireland luncheon. Biden remarks came just days after he told reporters at the White House he thinks Putin is a war criminal, after initially answering in such negative. The Kremlin responded that such remarks are unacceptable and unforgivable, reminding the American president of U.S. bombs that kill hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So, hey, man, they talking about I'm gonna read the next paragraph as well too. And he reminded them, like, look, y'all talking about war criminals and all these different things, and how you know, in another article talking about something, he was soulless and everything else like that, and a killer and all these different things, you know, and a dictator or a thug and all these different things, and all these different names they called him and everything else like that. But it's like, wait, what about the last 20 years y'all just over there indiscriminately bombing in the Middle East? Y'all went over there to so-called liberate Afghanistan, then wound up giving Afghanistan back to the people y'all was so-called liberating it from. So the whole 20 years y'all just bombing the hell out of them people over there. What was that about? What was that about in Iraq, man? You was looking for weapons of mass destruction over there, and they ain't found nothing yet, man. So you just bombed them people to hell and back for no reason, man. So you overthrew the legitimate government of Libya for what reason, man? For your own personal gain, man. All right, so you go into all these different countries, destabilizing these nations for your own personal gain, and all this here blood is on your hands, man. And there's no so-called how do they say, no pure evidence of what you was doing. You had, you know, so-called righteous doings in these things, man. So-called things you said that they so-called had, and it was you accused these people of. There was no evidence of none of these things, man. But in fact, in reality, all the things you accuse all these other people of doing, all right, is the things that you doing, man. All right, your war crimes against people, all right, all in the Middle East, you call it collateral damage and bombing people indiscriminately, all these civilians that died over there, man. All right, chemical weapons, you had that in Syria and everything, trying to blame that on other folks. That was you, all right. You know how you, that, like the scripture say, that open not the house of his prisoners. All right, you have humanitarian, what they call, basically humanitarian crises when you deal with people, how you treat them inhumane and things like that, man. All right, you got the ghettos, the slums, and the poor people here in America. Hey, you can send food and humanitarian aid to Ukraine, but you can't feed the people over here in America, man. All right, you got them in nothing but pure debt, student loans, and all these different things, man. All right, so look, you put a mirror up to America's face, man, and they start running away, man. Nah, that ain't us, that ain't us. What about these folks? What about those? What about you, man? What about the things you wound up doing, man? All right, let's read that again. Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right, so that's now the mirror being put up to America's face, man. They looking at you like, hey, is this the man? All right, you over here talking about what I'm over here doing, but really you're the perpetrator, man. You're the one that's instigating all these different things. You the one came up to me harassing me with this BS, man. I didn't come up to you. You came up to me with this. So read the last couple paragraphs. It says, 79-year-old U.S. leader has called the Russian leader a killer in March 2021 in a 2021 interview. Before that, on multiple occasions, Biden claimed that he had told Putin he had no soul during the 2011 a meeting in 2011, something the Kremlin said has never happened. It says in his remarks on Thursday, Biden seemed to repeat another claim that he had made several times before, that Putin and President Xi Jinping of China were autocrats who threatened democracy globally. All right, so hey, who's really threatening the global lifeline on the planet, man? It's been America. That's the one that's putting sanctions on everybody. That's why the whole earth right now is feeling these reels from these economic sanctions on Russia right now, man. Disrupting the trade routes and everything else like that. Disrupting the oil trade on the planet Earth right now, man. All these things are coming from America's doings. It says, joking about his upcoming call with the Chinese leader, Biden said, she remembers everything I've said. All kidding aside, Biden continues, she does not believe democracy can be sustained in the 21st century. All right, but nevertheless, hey man, these people can go around and talk all this junk about everybody else, and they can talk junk about everybody else, but when the mirror is put up into their face, oh, what about, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. You talk about humanitarian crises and how you doing wrong to people. Well, what about the so-called, not the so-called, what about the slavery that America has, still has the slaves, man? All right, let me read that again. Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that went throughout the whole earth with wars, bombing them to hell and back, man, that stabilized all these different nations, uprooted all these different governments and things like that? It says that verse 17, that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. All right, again, going around bombing the whole damn planet Earth, man. All the nations that have been bombed in recent years, man, who are they being bombed by, man? Or through a proxy of, man? All right, those bombs have been coming from over here, man. So how can you talk about anybody with weapons of mass destruction, all right, global dominance on anybody, and so-called terrorism around the earth? All right, who has nations living under a constant threat of aerial bombardment day in and day out, man? You have whole populations that have been growing up with that threat in their whole life, man, because of what they're doing, man. All right, what they have going on and everything else like that, man. But see, these Americans, they don't see these sides of everything. They just listen to the propaganda. They drink the so-called Kool-Aid, man. They drink the Kool-Aid every day saying, oh, no, we go over to these nations, we help them out. We got to do this, we got to do that. And then they'll have the nerve to say, oh, well, Russia, being a communist nation, they don't post the truth about what's really going on over there. America don't post the truth about what the hell they got going on over here, man. All right, you got the police shooting down unarmed people left and right, getting off the hook. You got this here government starving out its citizens day in and day out, feeding them poison. All right, you got them exporting things that they produce here in America and then re-importing the same damn goods from another country at a higher price, man, at a lower quality of value, so that the people have to pay more and more money for these things, man. All right, you would think with all the so-called global dominance and global hegemony on the face of the earth that America would be paying the cheapest for all of its products, but no, America pays the most for all of its products, man. All right, but nevertheless, hey, man, these things are now, you squeeze these people to the point where they can no longer thrive, they can no longer live, man. Look, hey, go ask your, this ain't rhetoric, man. Go ask your everyday average Americans about these things, man. How do they feel when they go check out at the grocery store? How do they feel when they go put gas in their cars right now, man? How do they feel when they go and buy things in the store right now, man? Everything is going up. They're not happy about these things. And who's in control of all these things? Who's at the very top that can set the precedent for all these things to be cheaper for them, man? All right, America wanted backdooring everybody else, not so that the American population can prevail from these things. No, they do this so that certain handfuls of people can prevail, just like in the pandemic, man. All right, all you mom and pop businesses got shut down. All right, but the only people that was able to do business was who? The big box stores, man. These big box corporations, your Amazons and the Walmarts. They was able to stay afloat. They was able to stay open and everything else like that and continue to do business. But your local mom and pops restaurants, they had to close down, man. But the big chain stores was able to stay open, man. You had your local supply store, whatever it is, man. Whether you was selling bait and tackle or, whatever the hell, you got your mom and pop store selling whatever, man. You got your local mom and pop stores to sell whatever little commodities and things like that. Guess what? They was forced to shut down, man. They was forced to shut down and continue to pay rent, while ultimately, they was wound up going bankrupt. America pretty much forced them to follow after these here laws that will ultimately bankrupt them. But guess who was able to stay open, man? These big box companies, man. That didn't, that didn't prop up the American economy. That actually destroyed the American economy, man. Because look, the American citizens don't benefit from, the sales of Amazon and Walmart and things like that, Disney and everything else like that. Yeah, these are some of the Apple and everything else like that. Yeah, these are some of the biggest companies in all of America. But guess who actually benefits from those things, man? A small group of elites, man. The regular everyday Americans don't benefit from these companies and things like that, man. So, hey, they're the ones that wound up shaking up the whole kingdom, man. They were the ones that was stabilizing the whole damn planet Earth. Not just that, they just did that to America, man. And yet they're the ones starving out their own people and keeping their people afloat, man. All these people, unemployment, is skyrocketing on up. You had what they call the global resignation. They're brainwashing the minds of these people to just overtake their jobs with what? Computer robots and AI and things like that, and have what? Universal basic income. Then what? Cull off the masses of the people, man. Destroy all the people. This is what they ultimately want to do to these people out here, man. not to benefit them, but for the small elite to sit here and prevail, man. All right, but this is ultimately, the damn devil that you're dealing with, man. So now the mask is off, and all these people are sobering up from this here Babylonian juice, and they saying, "Damn, hold up, bro. We was drunk. We knew there was a threat in the building. We heard that the boogeyman was over there, but now we waking up realizing he ain't the problem. You the fucking problem, man. You the one came up with all these lies. You the one came up with all these wedges that you just slung into everything else. You the main problem. Every nation," I said this to somebody else on the other day, and it instantly clicked into their mind, because and they not on, they don't really know about a lot of these other countries and everything else about who likes who and who don't like what, and why they have, their different, ideologies. Some of them are so-called Muslim nations. Some of them are, them Israeli. Certain nations don't deal with certain people for certain reasons. They have their own reasons. But I was like, you know what all these nations all have in common? A lot of nations don't really get together. They don't get along with one another for one reason or another. So they really ain't cool with each other. But guess what? All these nations can all agree, and they all got one thing in common. All these nations all have one thing in common. They got a common enemy. They got one person that's that's got, like a puppet, got their hand in their back, man, controlling them, man, telling them what to do when they can't do it, how to do it, how not to do it, and everything else. They got one person that's got all these, all these things in common with, man, and that's Babylon the Great, man. America's the one that's ruling over top of all these other nations, man. And so now these nations starting to wake up. Let me read it again, Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. So hey, now they starting to go back to their own spots, man. They're not they're no longer trying to do business with this here whore no more, man. They're like, you know what? It's like that man that's going out and cheating with the local prostitutes and everything else like that. But hey, yeah, she looked better than your wife and everything else like that. She got the makeup on. You'd have been married to this here woman for some time. She'd had a couple kids, gained a little bit of weight. You know what I'm saying? She don't get all dressed up like she used to and put the makeup on like she used to. So now, you out in the streets and you downtown in your downtown area. You see, these little night walkers and things like that. She got the little tight dress on, the makeup all on, the breast all pushed up, the ass all poking out. And you like, damn, my wife don't dress like that no more. So you start messing around. You go pull up on her, start hollering at her or whatever. Oh, I can, I'll deal with you for this low price or whatever it is, and you thinking, shit, my wife, she be requiring way more than that, so I'm gonna just go holler at this little chick for a little moment. Now you go take this broad back to the room, you get in the light, you know what I'm saying? You start noticing now she's pulling off a wig, she bald headed. She's wiping off this here makeup, and she looking, nowadays, shit, it might be a whole man up under there. I was gonna say she's got all these diseases and things, but nevertheless, let's just go down the disease route. Man, you touch that if you want to, you're gonna cause death unto yourself, man. So now you starting to sober up like, whoa, I actually had it better back at home with my original wife. Yeah, she didn't look as good as what I thought she looked like, but once the makeup is gone, this woman looked like a goddamn man. My wife at least looked feminine. She ain't looking like a American top model, but at least she looking feminine. She don't look like a man. This beast over here got this damn makeup on. She like a goddamn man. You know how you can watch a movie, they put makeup on people to make them look like they dead or something else like that, man. Hey, man, it's the opposite of these women. They can make a dead person look like they all beautiful and everything else like that. That's what America is. It's got this makeup on, man. They would say the golden city and everything else like that. That's why you have a lot of these other poor nations that will come over to America to so-called prosper, to thrive, and to have a better way of life and being. Hell, even like, they say in Mexico, they fleeing from the cartels and fleeing from poverty to coming over to America for a better life. Now they come over to America, it's like, well, we got a better economy, a better way of life of living off in Mexico. Instead of fleeing from the cartels, we safer living with the cartels than living around these damn police that's gonna pull us over and kill us being unarmed and everything else like that for eating in our backyard or, eating tacos on our own porch, man. And they over here killing you for eating tacos on your porch nowadays, man. So nevertheless, these nations starting to wake up saying, you know what, I had all I really needed back at home, man. My wife, she used to cook for me, clean for me. She used to argue a little bit here and there. We had some problems here and there, but at least I can deal with her, man. At least I know that that's exactly who she is, man. Yeah, she don't wear no makeup or nothing, but at least I know what she look like, man. Really look like, man. I'm not gonna get home and wash this here face off and now she look completely hideous, man. I'm not gonna sit here and take off this here little body shaper and she's got her just goddamn whatever you want to call that little front pouch looking thing, man. She got this whole, her whole gut hanging out over the front, man. Nah, I don't want this, man. I thought this ain't what I paid for, man. But nevertheless, these nations are now waking up to this here BS, man. Now they're going back to their own home because why? It's more beneficial unto them. All right. Now let's go to Isaiah chapter 47. All right. Isaiah 47 and 1. Start at the top. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. Hey, again, going back into this here whore being exposed for who she really is, man. All right, being exposed for the wickedness that she is, man. Hey, look, man, you know, you starting to see, it's like that girl, what her name was, with the football player, I believe it was, Brittany Renner. You know, she was one of these little Instagram thoughts or whatever, you know, one of these little Instagram models or whatever the hell she was, right? Everybody wanted to so-called be her and so on and so forth. She thought she was one of these little cute thotties and then went out with this little ball player, all right? Then wound up writing a book and exposing them and everything else like that. Now, all of a sudden, she's like, yo, her DMs done dried up. Don't nobody want to deal with her. She's like, you know, a lot of these women mistake it where they can get a man to sleep with them, but they can't get a man to so-called wife them up, you know, or to so-called be with them in a relationship, man. But now she was saying, she had a different interview now where she come out the woodwork saying, hey, man, you know, her DMs are dried up, man. She can't even get no man's attention. She can't even get no man to try to sleep with her now. She can't even get a man to just throw her some damn pipe nowadays, man. And that's sad for a woman who can't get a man to throw her some pipe, man. You can go find the most bustedest, ugliest, fattest, unattractive, most unhealthiest looking woman and, hell, put her in a damn bikini or something, walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, some dude will try to holler at them, man. You know what I'm saying? You got what I call the prison complex, man. You know what I'm saying? You get locked up in prison long enough, man. You know what I'm saying? The most butchest, manliest looking female guard even become attracted to you at that point in time, man. All right, because, yeah, you ain't exposed to none of these other women, man. You be like, damn, I can see myself getting that. Like, bro, she old as hell, or bro, she fat as hell, or bro, she missing all her teeth. Like, yeah, but she ain't had that in a while, man. But now, hey, look, even these so-called hotties like the Brittany Renner, she can't get no man to deal with her. Why? Because she's been exposed for the wickedness that she's been doing and how she gonna out everybody else. So now, what's going on with America? America's being exposed for their wickedness and how they leave all their nations. Again, like the Ukraine scenario, they blew smoke up Russia's back, right? With Ukraine using them, and then left Ukraine out there to defend their damn self. They ain't sending no troops. So now all these other nations are like, oh, we see now how you gonna deal with us, man. Yeah, you'll fuck around with us, but then you're gonna expose us like this. Now we're gonna get all this here blowback. I got too many resources for you to be doing me like that. Like again with the Brittany Renner situation, all these so-called blue check marks she used to have in her DMs and things like that. They don't want to deal with her now because why? They're afraid that what she gonna write a tell-all book about them and expose their business with the type of shit that they like doing. Same with America, man. They see how they dealt with the Ukraine. Like, look, bro, if we sit here and follow along with you with the things that you got going on, you bring us into a war, you might just leave us the fuck out there, man. And just give us some damn weapons. Bruh, what the hell? What are we going to do at this point in time? And then you really can't send what you really want to send over there because you don't want to be into a war with them. We don't want to be on war with them, but you don't want to start this here war, man. And now look at what's going on, man. So now this is bringing them all into their own house, man. Now America's being caught off of that damn throne. They're being taken off that top spot. Now, again, going back to that Brittany Renner, she's not the top prize possession so-called to be with no more. Now these dudes, all these blue check marks that used to be in her DMs is now like, nah, bruh. I'd rather go deal with a non-name brand asshole than to deal with her. I'd rather go deal with one of these regular busted project bitches than to deal with her. Because at least, you know, with the project bitches, they can expose me, but them exposing me is only going to go around the projects. They ain't got the kind of clout that, or the clout the homegirl got. She's a world-known, everybody know this bitch now. But nevertheless, you know, this is what's going on with America, man. All right, they're being exposed for their so-called weak nature amongst these other nations. They're starting to see what's going on, and guess what? These nations are now backing up off of her, man. They don't want to deal with her no more, man. So now what? There's no more prize position for you to sit on no more, man. There's no more number one spot for you to sit here and rain down. Yeah, I got all the goods. Y'all all gonna come to me. Like the scriptures say, there is no throne. Yeah, first verse. Isaiah 47 and verse 1, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, so, hey, again, for Brittany Renner's scenario, right? She's all hurt because she ain't never felt like what it feels like to be like these regular degular bitches, man. These regular degular bitches out here, you know what I'm saying? They can't get up into your Drakes and all these football player DMs with no blue check mark and try to get these people to holler back. But, hey, she get into their DMs, they all falling for her, they all eating out her hands. But now she has to feel the wrath of what it's like living like a regular person now, man. Living like a regular human being now. Are thou become weak as we? Are y'all become like unto us now? This is what these other nations are saying to America now. But now, nevertheless, hey, there's no throne for you. You're not in that #1 spot now. Now you have to see what it's like to deal with these other nations on an even platform, an even playing field now. All right, now you don't have all these other nations bowing down onto you because you have a so-called blue check mark, you know? Keep giving that analogy of that great whore, you know? There's certain of these so-called, how you say, top women that these people fall down for and everything. But, hey, that Brittany Renner is a prime example because she's mad that she can't get nobody with a blue check mark in her DMs no more. But not too long ago, she was all bragging about, oh, I can get any man and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. I can go do all these things, flaunting it around, man. That pride of thy heart has deceived thee, man. You didn't realize it was going to come to an end at some point in time, man. Like the scripture say about Babylon. Hey, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee, man. All right, look, we're going to read it right here. Going back, Isaiah 47. And 1, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit in the ground, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. All right, hey, you no longer going to be called tender and delicate. Oh, poor baby. You know, like, you got a little kid, a little baby, a little child. Oh, we got it for you. We'll fix your plate. We'll do this. We'll do that. Or a chick. Oh, let me hold the door open for you, girl. Let me get the door for you. Let me pull your chair out, girl. Oh, I'll go ahead and pay for it, girl. I got everything for you, girl. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. Hey, man. Now everybody's looking at America like, nah, bro, you can hold the door for yourself. You can get your own chair. You know, you can pay for your own shit, bro. We not coming to your every beck and call no more, man. You that dirty, funky whore, man. We know what you're going to do. You're going to write a tell-all, be-all book about us. You're going to get into some conflict with some other nation, and you're going to leave us out here like that, bro. You're going to have us exposed out here, man. So we don't want nothing to do with you, man. In fact, we're going to tell everybody, don't be dealing with America. That BS that she's spewing out there, look at what they did to Ukraine, man. Look how she did the, you know, her ex. Look how she did these people and everything else like that. Look how she left them out there, man. Don't deal with her, man. This is what she going to do to you, man. She a goddamn man-eater out here, man. She going to leave you out here exposed and naked, man. So, hey, my advice, hey, bro, how they say, she for the streets. That's what America's like for nowadays, man. You deal with America, man, you gonna wind up burning your own self, man. All right, that's just like, you know, in the hood. Hey, man, don't mess with her. Nah, bro, she got homie all messed up last week. Don't be dealing with her, man. You know, so that's what's going on with America right now. These nations are saying, hey, flee away from her, man. All right, go back to your own home, man. Deal with somebody else. Don't deal with her no more, man. Because she's gonna cause you to wind up losing your own ship, man. All right. Verse 2, Isaiah 47:2. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare. Let me go back up to 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit in the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right, so, hey, going into roughly, you know, just quickly touching on that, I will not meet thee as a man, because when the Lord come back, you know, he's going to come back with the and his angelic force with the chariots. All right, he's going to come back and, you know, wage war. You know, we can read about that in 2 Ezra 13. You know, as you see in the movie Independence Day, that's what it's going to be like. But nevertheless, you know, uncover the thigh. All right, lift up the skirt. All right, exposing this bad boy or exposing this dirty whore for what she really is, man. You know, it's like, again, you know, the analogy I keep giving, like, yo, look, man. Lift up that there dress, man. You see all them little spots, those boils, those, you know, whatever the fuck she got going on. Nah, bro. Bro. You don't want to mess with her, bro. Nah, bro. The last nigga that didn't fuck with her, he died 6 months later. You know what I'm saying? The last couple dudes she was messing with, she's no good, bro. You know, or, hey, she messed with so-and-so and wrote a expose all book. You know, some of these people, they do this for their short fame. They had another chick, I think her name was Corinne Stephens and everything else like that. She went forth and everything else like that and wound up exposing some people for the things that they was doing. Then lo and behold, guess what? She's not famous no more, man. She put all these people's names out in the book for what they was doing and everything else like that. And now don't nobody want to deal with her no more. So she didn't cut off her own so-called life support, man. All right, she was dealing with these famous people and getting broke off from them. But now she can't do that no more because why? She done made a tell-all book, exposed them. All right, got dirty with her dirty work. All right, and this is what's going on. So what did America wind up doing in this here Ukraine front, man? Showed their hand, showed their dirty work, man. Showed that they ain't really got these nations' best benefit in hand in mind. All right, so what? They just left them out there to be exposed like that, and now these other nations are waking up to these things, and they say, look, we don't want to deal with them, man. All right, if anything, we want to deal. We see how Russia is holding it down for their nations. We see how they're coming to their back and call. Even nations like Saudi Arabia, they're seeing these things, man. Like, nah, bruh. Y'all left Ukraine out there. How we know if we get attacked by somebody, you don't just leave us the fuck out there, man, and go get oil from somewhere else, man? How we know you ain't gonna do us like that? So guess what? Now, you know, you already called out the Khashoggi killing. All right, so now, you know what? it's more beneficial for us to just leave your ass alone, man. All right, so now the shame is being uncovered. Now these things are being called out on America. They're atrocities, man. What about your war front in the Middle East and all these different things you've been doing, man? What about the slavery you had about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? What about the poverty that you got going on in your country, man? What about the bloodshed that your police force is doing unto your citizens, man? All right, what about all these different things you got going on over there, man? What about your little, how do I want to call it, you know, I can't even say that, but dealing with these, with your, the dude that so-called offed himself in jail, man. All right, that guy, you know, because he was entwined with all these other politicians and world leaders and everything else like that, who had his own island out there where they had his own plane. They was flying people out for these different things and everything else like that, man. Hey, man, that was not to say, well, you know, the boiling pot for that stuff is here in America, man. This is what they spewing out, man. Now they're being uncovered for all these different things, and the majority of these people that's getting caught up into these things is people from the so-called Western Front, man. America and Europe and these European leaders and things like that, man. So now they over here calling out all these people for all the BS that they claiming on. Well, America's calling everybody else out on these so-called crimes, but really, when you hold up the mirror, like, no, y'all the number one of all these different things, man. You know, you calling me out for stealing this and stealing that, but look, y'all kill off whole y'all still whole nations, man. You talking about we over here killing a couple people and everything else like that. Oh, so-and-so beheaded some folks over here. They're criminals. Well, they beheaded some drug dealers or something else like that, man. The Philippines is locking up and killing drug dealers. Okay, so what? You killing off, you invading whole nations and bombing entire countries, man. So what? What are we really talking about here, man? All right. So what? Their skirt is being lifted up. Going back, verse 4. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou in silence and get into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called the Lady of Kingdoms. All right. So look. This is no longer being called the top nation no more, man. People are starting to walk away from this here place and saying, look, man, hey, we ain't dealing with them no more. This ain't the cream of the crop no more. This ain't the top of the top no more. This is just another one of those little third world countries that is rapidly becoming, man. Again, these nations are starting to take their trade up out of America, stop doing business over with America. Hey, it's not like they got really sanctions on them. Like, you know what, it's costing us money to do business over there, man. We'll just take our trade somewhere else, man. You know, with the farm, there's an article about that where, you know, the sanctions on Russia with the pharmaceutical industry and everything else like that, it's causing what? It's causing places like India and them to slide on in with that. Like, you know what? Well, shit, hey, fuck them. We gonna slide in. We gonna make our nation fat by doing these things. If y'all don't want to serve Russia, we'll serve Russia, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so you're not really hurting nobody. You're only bringing snares and traps onto your own self. You're only shooting yourself in your own foot. Verse 6, it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavily laden thy yoke. So, hey, going into these things, man, hey, look, this is another thing that they wound up doing, man. You know, you further the oppression of the Israelites, man. All right, when their captivity had come to an end, that's when the most atrocious things happen to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. The majority of the lynchings, the burnings, and everything. Hey, look at them now, man. They roll around up on us for no damn reason and, you know, be harassing you for no damn reason, man. Pull you over, give you a ticket for going 4 miles over the speed limit, man, just because you riding a nicer car than what they riding in. What kind of bullshit is that, man? Shooting unarmed people in their house for eating ice cream on their couch because you walked into the wrong apartment and try to get off with that, man. You bring a damn assault rifle to a goddamn protest, right? A Black Lives Matter protest, apparently, or whatever kind of protest, man. But you have your mama drive you a long distance with your assault rifle, and then you the only person with a gun out there. You start assaulting people, and you wind up shooting some folks. Now you crying in court, and you get off of that, man. Man, these goddamn hypocrites out here, man. This is why this damn devil got to be put down, man. Because look at him, man. What has he done? Destroyed the whole earth, man. All right, if you let this nigga go by, hey, if he was to succeed, we're destroying all the other nations, man. All right, if he was to fully eradicate all the other nations on the face of the earth, what do you think his stupid ass would wind up doing, man? He would wind up eradicating his own damn self, man. All right, you see who the hell got nukes? It's him and himself. Only he got nukes, man, basically. And you do have some other nations with nukes, but they in control of them damn nukes too, man. But only Esau got goddamn nukes like that, man. And again, you got some of these other nations with nukes, but he's in control of them damn nukes, man. That's how they got them nukes. But nevertheless, he wound up nuking his own damn self, man. Look at the first 2 world wars, man. Who was there in between? Edomites on Edomites, man. Look at the 3rd World War. Who is it going to be between? Edomite on Edomite, man. They would destroy their own goddamn self, man. So, hey, man, this is a agent of death, an agent of chaos, man. This nigga he's a walking abomination amongst his own self, man. He would destroy his own self, man. His own counselors bringing him down to the ground. His own doing it is destroyed the whole earth, man. All right, his own lies has come back to bite him in the ass. His own children are afraid of these things, like the scriptures say. They gonna complain of unrighteous fathers because they rolling in the Lambo. Hey, that was a nice little Lambo. But nevertheless, hey man, they didn't inherit some lies, man. They over here talking about the BS that they didn't inherit from their forefathers. Now it's too much for them, man. Not going too far off topic, but what they call critical race theory. They don't want to teach about what their forefathers have done, man. They don't want to teach about these things, but ultimately, this is what all this is coming back up into your face for, man. All right, let me read that verse again. Isaiah 47 and 6, it says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance, and given them into thy hand, and thou didst showest them no mercy. Upon the ancient thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. So, hey, man, you know, you did all these things to the children of Israel. Let me grab this precept real quick to go along with that. Not to go too far off topic, but just to touch in on this real quick. Because, you know, they got that 12 and 9. Not 12 and 9, 9 and 12, so like it. Yeah. Because you got this thing called critical race theory, right? Where they saying, basically, hey, we don't want to teach about these things that could be so-called racist and things like that, teaching about the forefathers having slaves. Well, your forefathers did have slaves. It's documented in their own writings. All right, how do you think America was founded? You trying to completely eradicate how America was founded? All right, completely eradicate the suffering of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at your own doing, at your own hands and things like that to make them feel more comfortable in this here place, man. All right, now all these things have come upon you and backfiring in your face, man. And not only that, man, you stored up a lot of these things. Again, your own tongue is casting you down, man. Your own snares, your own traps have brought you down, man. You made postcards, all right. You had records. All right, and everything else like this that you've kept from generation to generation to generation. But guess what now? And then you put it on the internet, man. And so now these things are being used to come up into your own face, man, and to accuse you about these things, man. Let me read this real quick. In Daniel chapter 9 and verse 12, it says, and he has confirmed his word which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil. All right, hey, you go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 on down. All right, but part of this great evil, he was going to bring a nation from afar, man. A fierce nation, all right, that wasn't going to show no mercy unto us, man. Esau, Edom, man, and that's what happened, man. And what did he do? It says, for under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done unto Jerusalem, man. All right, he brought nothing but torment and hell and well, let me go back. Isaiah 46 and 6, or 47 and 6, it says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance. I have given them into thine hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient have thou very heavily laid thy yoke. So ultimately, you know, this is how they wound up treating us once we was in their possession, man. All right, they've oppressed us to the fullest, man. They've taken us, taken it to the far extremes, man. And that was done unto all of the, unto all the tribes. Let me grab this real quick. Slack, give me 1 second. Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel, all right, which are the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, the northern kingdom, all right, and the children of Judah, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Haitians, the so-called West Indies, all right, the southern kingdom, all right, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, all right, and the only time that we was oppressed, there were 2 times we was oppressed together, man, and also as the scriptures say, which is spiritually called Egypt, all right, Sodom and Egypt, because look, the first time we was oppressed together, that was pretty much when, you know, 70 souls went down into Egypt, and we came out as a great nation. All right, we was oppressed together at that point in time. All right, but then, you know, after that, you know, the northern kingdom went with the Assyrians, the southern kingdom went into Babylon, and so on and so forth. But now, you know, starting in what, the early 1500s, all right, that was the point in time where Columbus came and took the northern kingdom into captivity. 1600, the 1600s was when Columbus and them came, or not Columbus, where when they started bringing the so-called Negroes over here into captivity, man. So this is the one place where we was oppressed together, the northern and the southern kingdoms. So it says, Jeremiah 50 and 33, it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go." So, so as we read in Daniel, all right, there has been nothing that's been done that's been done to the children of Jerusalem, roughly paraphrasing, and all that took them held them captives and refused to let them go. All right, and the oppressors, what is that? Let me get this other precept. And again, not to go too far off topic. Let me find. This is Zechariah 11 and 5. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." So, hey, going into the, just quickly going into this, not getting off topic, but hey, they also say, which open out the prisoners, open out the house of their prisoners. Hey, so look, man, this is what Esau wound up doing, man. But now all this is coming back up into his face, man. He has to pay for his toll. But going back into what I was saying about the critical race theory, they don't want to talk about these things, man. They hold themselves not guilty, man. They was oppressed together over here, and they said their own shepherds pity them not. They want to, we ain't had nothing to do with that, man. But then again, now their forefathers are complaining of unrighteous fathers, talking about some they inherited lies. It was the most righteous, the most cleanest nation. These people are being raised up nowadays thinking that America, everybody hates us because of our freedoms, because of how righteous, how pure we are, how we have the rights for everybody to do whatever they want to go and do. We don't oppress nobody. We don't keep anybody under oppression and things like that. But no, man, this is the throne of oppression, man. This is where it all stems from, man. This is where the devil's seat is at, right here in Babylon, man. You oppressed the whole damn planet Earth. Not just that, you've oppressed the children of the Most High, man, the children of Israel, man. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, put them in hardcore bondage, man. And when the time of their captivity had come to an end, what you do? You double down on them, man. All right, that was when all the so-called lynchings and the burnings and all those different things, the separating the families, all started taking place in a major way, man, at that point in time, man. All right, that's where you took away our heritage mostly, where we couldn't know who we were. All these different things came up in these points of times, man. What you put on to us in the modern day times, man. Rap music, all right, hip-hop, all these different things, man. This is what you wound up doing to us, man. Back then, at least we knew who we were. We was more intact as a family unit and everything else like that. But now you start to give us welfare, and you can get the food stamps, but it can't be no man in the household, man. Brought the woman up over top of us and everything else like that at this point in time, man. Back in slavery times, at least the father was still the head of the household, man. He ruled over his children and everything else like that. But nowadays, this damn devil has got us completely destroyed, man. But again, not going too far off topic. I didn't want to get into a tangent on what Esau done it to us, but nevertheless, hey, he wanted to be a so-called acquitter of these charges, man. Hey, the wicked shall not go unpunished, man. All right, that the Most High is not gonna be mocked. Whatever you sow, that shall you reap, man. This is just how it all comes to an end, man. This is all how this is gonna be your own doings. Give me a second. Oh wait. Thought it was right here. Hold on 1 second. Or was it Oh, it's like in verse 6 and 7. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And this is the things that he wound up doing, man. It's going throughout the whole earth sowing wickedness, man. Rape, robbery, and murder, man. So now all these things are coming back up into his own face, man. These are the things, these are the seeds that he's planting upon the earth, man. So ultimately going back into that, let's go back. I'm going to read from verse 7. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. So, hey, what did he wind up doing, man? He wound up going and sowing unto the flesh, man. Consulting wickedness into his flesh that he may prevail. We read that a little earlier. Which is going to tie us back into this Isaiah. But let me grab this back. Which you read a little bit earlier. We didn't actually read this verse, though. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 13. Habakkuk 2 and 10. It says, thou hast, let me go up to 9 and 10. It says, Habakkuk 2 and 9, it says, woe to him that coveteth the evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people and sinned against thy soul. So, hey, this is what he wound up planting, and so this is what's going to come back up into his face, man. All right, because why? He has showed, no mercy upon the earth. The Lord's going to wind up judging him with no mercy, man. He wound up touching the apple of the Most High's eye. This is going to come back up upon him, man. All right, but like I said, not wanting to go too far for what Esau done it to us, but hey, just look at how much more he's done these things to the rest of the earth, man. We could read in that same chapter we was just reading in about how he spoiled all these other nations. Now these other nations are going to spoil him, man. But this is what we're starting to see happen right now, man. The decline of America all the way through and through. Going back to Isaiah 47 and 6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. And thou didst showest them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou, where was I at? Let me just read it back. Thou didst showest them no mercy, and upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. So, hey, man, ultimately, where's that in Isaiah? Because we just read about what he's going to reap, he's going to sow. Let me grab this other precept. Isaiah. Isaiah 13, 17, and 18 says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows shall dash their young men into pieces. They shall have no pity upon the fruit of their womb. Their eye shall not spare. All right, so, yeah, they shall have no pity of their womb. All right, so ultimately, you didn't have no mercy upon, these other nations as you were spoiling them. Hey, when these other nations being led by Russia, they're not going to have mercy unto you. And just like how, well, we can read that as well, too, in Isaiah. There's another one. Isaiah 14 and 21. All right, again, not getting off too far off topic because, we was just speaking about what Esau's doing to these other nations, and now these other nations coming to spoil him. But, hey, also what he's done unto us. Isaiah 14 and 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. It says, for I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew, saith Yahweh. So look, man, you got all this coming back upon you, man. That whatever you sow, you gonna also reap, man. All right, the Most High is not mocked, man. So all these different wickedness, all this wickedness that you've pushed forth into the earth, you're gonna wind up having to pay for these things, man. All right, you wind up trying to reign forever, cut off the children of Israel, trying to get your blessing back, man. But ultimately, you're gonna wind up falling, man. You're gonna fall into the hands of the living power, man. All right, let me go back and read that again. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So now, this is now the time for all the things that America wound up doing on the face of the earth and doing to these other nations. Now is the time for all these things to come back up into your face. All right, now all these things are coming back for you to reap these things thereof, man. Now all these things are coming back up to bite you in the ass, man. All right, like the scriptures say, You know, the scripture also say never trust thy enemy, but further on down in that, all right, let me read this Sirach 12 and 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or such as in his come not a wild beast, so that one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him and his sins, who will pity? So, hey, man, who gonna pity this man? You touched the apple of the Most High's eyes, man. You've planted all this here wickedness in the earth, man. You did all these here doings and these snares, these laws and everything else like that. You've pushed, let me read this precept as well, too. You've pushed the limits, man. You pushed all these things all the way to the rim. Revelation 18 and 5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So, amen. Reward her as she double. Reward her as she rewarded unto you. Double unto her doubling, man. All right, her sins have reached unto heaven, man. All right, you piled up everything. You know, you go in the little online shopping cart. You piled your shopping cart to the brim. Now you got to pay for everything that's in there, man. Or you go in the grocery store, you don't pull everything off the damn shelf, put it all in the cart, and walk around the store and just leave that damn cart there, man. Eventually, they're going to make you pay for every damn thing, man. All right, so now America ran up this here tab and sat there and lived the lit. But let me keep reading. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 5 again. Her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. Have how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord that judgeth her. All right, so hey, man, ultimately, you know, she's gonna wind up reaping what she sowed, man. All right, she spoiled all these other nations. All right, she went up into these other nations and bombed all these other nations to hell and back, man. All right, depleted them of all their resources and everything else like that. All right, now all these things is coming back up into your face to bite you in the ass, man. All these things now are starting to come back to, how they say, the chickens are coming home to roost. All right, let me read this. We read this a little earlier, but let's read this again. Habakkuk 2 and 7 and 8, it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land and of the city, and all that dwell therein. So ultimately, again, that what you sow, there shall you reap. You planted wickedness, you wind up going around the whole planet Earth, taking peace from the earth, bombing the earth, destabilizing the earth, and everything else like this, creating enemies among the earth. All right, all these nations are about to start turning on you and spoiling you, man. All right, you live so deliciously and in peace and all this, laden in fine purple linen and in gold and everything else like that, man, while everybody else was out there starving, man. So now in one day and in 1 hour, all these things are going to come unto you, man. All right, that thermonuclear destruction ultimately, but right now you're starting to see the decay of this here system, man. The decay of these things going forth in the earth, man. So let's go back to the Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47 and 7, it says, and thou shalt say, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did thou remember the latter end. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly, and say in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So they believe that their houses are going to go on forever, as the scripture said. They believe that they're going to go off into the sunset. They believe that they're going to just ultimately subdue all the nations on the planet Earth, get them all into subjection, all right, and get them all up under their wing, man. They believe that they're going to have everybody to follow under their accord, set up their new world order and everything else like that, man. But ultimately, the Most High is going to take them down, man. And we can read about that. Let's grab that real quick. But nevertheless, hey, this is their plan, but it's going to come to naught, man. In fact, I'll grab that first, and then we'll grab this other precept. This is Job 5 and 12. It says, he disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise and their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. All right, so hey, it says he disappointed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. All right, so hey, man, ultimately, he's gonna wind up taking them so they can't get set up their new world order, their ultimate end game plan, man. All right, now he's starting to see that resistance, man. Now he's starting to see these things come back up upon him, man. All right, just like we're gonna read here in Job chapter 20. I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, that which he labored for. I quoted this a little earlier about him drank down so much, but hey, he drank it down, and it's starting to be unsettled in his stomach. So now it's starting to be troublesome unto him. He's about to start regurgitating all these things. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down according to his substance. Shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. So hey, all those things that he labored for, all his wickedness, to rule over the whole earth, to take all the spoils of the earth, to take all the resources of the earth, all these things now are coming back as a plague upon him. They're all coming back now as a how do I say, as a witness upon him, man. All these other nations saying, hey, look, man, you got all these spoils, you got all these different things. We let you be in control of everything, and what did you do to the earth, man? You turned it all upside down. You don't need to be in control of everything else no more, man. Just like somebody saying, who need to be the leader of whatever group or business? All right, yeah, we promoted you to be the leader of the business, but what did you do? What did you do to the business, man? You destroyed all the business, man. You didn't corrupted all the sales, all the marketing. You destroyed all of our partners and everything else like that. Sales and everything just started declining, man. You know what would happen if they hired up a CEO or somebody to run a company, and then all the trends just started dropping, falling? They would get rid of them, man. All right, matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Where is that? This is I think it's chapter 10. Oh, well, here it is right here. Let me read this first. We'll go back. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit. All right. And how did they wind up getting all the resources, man? How did America wind up getting everybody in their possessions, man? They didn't just roll up on them like, hey, we want to sit down at the table and negotiate with you guys. We want to, they did, but they negotiated with a damn gun to their head, man. That's not a real negotiation. They didn't just come and say, hey, look, man, we think that we'd be better off if we just controlled everything. What do you say about that? Let's have a vote on it. And if people just unanimously like, you know what, we think that's a good deal. No, man. What was that? 1945, I believe it was. All right, or it might be 45, 48 around that time when they dropped those bombs on Japan. That's how they negotiated. They negotiated, like I said, it's like, hey, all right, so look, I want you to sign over your rights into me. Somebody said, nah, I don't want to sign over the rights. I don't benefit. And then they pull out a gun and put the gun to your heads, sign over the rights to me. What the person going to do? All right, I'm going to sign over the goddamn rights, man. That's what they did, man. They dropped that damn, those bombs on Japan. All right, then all of a sudden, everybody fell in line, man. All right, fuck it, then. We got to do what we got to do. Then they started expanding NATO. Then they used the big bad boogeyman. Look, if you don't do this, we're going to just invade your ass. If you don't do this, we're going to put sanctions on you, man. If you don't do this, we're going to come and steal the resources out of your country. Oh, Saddam Hussein, you want to start selling your oil off the petrodollar and want to start selling it on the British, what was it, the British pound? Okay, now all of a sudden he got weapons of mass destruction. We got to go and invade his damn country, man. All right, because they want to get a pipeline ran through Syria and things like that. Oh, now all of a sudden they got terrorists in their country. Now we got to go over there and get rid of the terrorists and just blow up all the infrastructure of the damn nation. And like, bro, man, like, what kind of shit is this, man? You planted these conflicts and planted disturbances. This is an old mob tactic, man. The mob is coming to you. It's like, hey, man, you got your old business front. The mob will come to you and say, hey, you got to pay us for protection. Protection from what? I don't have no problems with my business. Don't nobody come and mess with my business. Now all of a sudden the mob is coming over there throwing bricks through your window. See, this is why you need us for protection, because somebody keep breaking your windows and stealing all your cash register and everything. So now you forced to go buy protection from them when they the ones that's creating the conflict in your building, man. So this is what America wound up doing. We got these things by deceit, man. It says, Sirach 10 and 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, man. All right, unrighteous dealings, man. Again, you negotiating with people by the threat of the goddamn nuclear missiles, man. All right, nuclear. Hey, you seen what we did to Japan, right? You better get in line, or we gonna do. Hey, fuck around if y'all want to. Or you seen how they dealt with Cuba, right? Oh, y'all want to put those missiles on y'all borderline? Anybody fuck with Cuba, y'all gotta answer to us. Now look at Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all want to get off the petrodollar and start trading in the British pound. Okay, now all of a sudden you got weapons of mass destruction. We gonna bring our weapons of mass destruction over here to so-called get rid of your weapons of mass destruction, man. This is what he wound up doing. It says because of unrighteous dealings, man. These are all unrighteous dealings. How the hell are you gonna accuse somebody of the same shit you got going on over there, man? Talking about some, oh, they got chemical weapons and everything. You the one got the chemical weapons, man. That's how the fuck you know they got chemical weapons? Because you the one sold them the chemical weapons, man. It's like, yo, man, you a drug dealer, man. You just sold this man some crack, and then you call the police, yeah, man, he got crack on him. How you know? Cause I sold him the crack. That's how I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, what kind of bullshit is this, man? All right, this is the damn devil that we talking about right now. But look, the mask is being pulled off his face, man. These nations are starting to see this whore for who she really is, man. They starting to sober up, man. They starting to go and deal with their own people now because look at all the wickedness that this person has done, especially with the Ukraine scenario, man. All these nations are starting to see and they speaking on a global scale, the world stages, so to say. Hey, man, this whole conflict started in the 90s when they was expanding with this NATO shit. Now look at what they doing. Now they got the whole world afraid of a goddamn nuclear war because of what they doing, man. We need to band together and oust this bitch. This bitch is about to make us all lose everything, man. She the one doing all this here bullshit, man. So now we all about to get shut down because of what the hell she got going on, man. All right, we got to get rid of her, man. All right, it says because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, man. All right, America wasn't made rich because of their own exports, their own trade, their own merit. No, they got rich off of what? Their backdoor deals. Oh, we're going to set up the petrodollar. Anytime you want to sell oil to these people over here, we going to make money off of that. We ain't got shit to do with this here deal, man. Anytime you want to buy weapons on the earth, you can't buy weapons from Russia. You going to only buy weapons from us. And so this is, or NATO, all right? You can't buy, you can't create your own warplanes. Nope, you got to buy warplanes from us. So this is what's lining their own pockets, man. Riches got by deceit, man. Ill-gotten gains, man. All right, because you don't want up getting these ill-gotten gains and everything else like that. Now you're about to be spoiled, man. All right, going back, Sirach 10 and 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And so this is how they say the turning of the guard, man. Again, going back to that example of if you got hired in as a top CEO, the top chief of a business or something like that, man, and then ultimately, you know, all your stocks and everything start going down, people will stop wanting to deal with you and everything else like that, sales and everything is going away, man. What do you think that the people that own that company is going to do? Look, bro, we got to let you go, and we got to bring somebody in that's more profitable, man. Let's grab that. Let me read this again. We'll grab that. Sirach 10 and 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, and so this is what you're starting to see. We'll grab that precept as well, too. But going back, Sirach 10. Matter of fact, let me come back to that and read this first. 2nd Ezra 6. And to the point, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So now look, you know, Esau's had the domination of the earth, that red horse, pale horse, taking peace from the earth, killing and stealing, and riches got by deceit, and all his wrongdoings and everything else like that, man. All right, so now it's time for the kingdom to be translated from one people to another. All right, it's like I didn't drop the page now. So it says, Sirach 10 and 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So as we read, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So look, we at the end of Esau's world, we see he's coming down. You know, thou shalt be no more called the Lady of Kingdoms, man. Thou shalt be no more glorified amongst all these other people. Now your skirt is being lifted up. All your wickedness is being revealed into the earth, man. All right, and Esau, again, is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we seen him starting to fall down. Going back to Sirach 10 and 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that's profitable, man. All right, so if Esau is the end of the world, all right, where he was taking peace from the earth, destroying the whole earth, destabilizing the whole earth, all right, and now what do we see? The valley of the dry bones being woken back up, all right, Jake being prophesied unto, all right, the prophets on the highways and the byways, calling on the names of the Lord and everything else like that. What are we seeing happening, man? The kingdom of the Lord is being raised up, man. All right, the elect is ushering in the time of Yahushua's return, man. So, hey, man, and who's going to take the crowns off his king? Let me grab that real quick. Not too much as a side note, but, hey, this is the downfall of America, baby. This is, Revelation chapter 19 and 11. All right, Revelation 19 and 11 says, oh no, yeah, Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. In fact, hang on, let me see if I want to grab something else first real quick. Boom. Let me start here. Well, nah, for time's sake, we'll just read it over here. Revelation 19 and 11. All right. It says, and I saw heaven open. Yeah, Revelation 19 and 11. I saw heaven open. All right, because ultimately, you know, he's going forth. We can get it. He's going forth conquering, man. Hey, this is what the Lord is going forth to do. Let me grab that in Revelation 6. Revelation 6 and verse 2. And I saw and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow and a crown, and was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Right now, let's read further into detail on that. In Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So, hey, man, you know, again, we was reading how Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know what? Matter of fact, we're going to come back to this. We're going to finish this Isaiah 47. Nah, we'll read this Revelation first, just real quick, and we'll go back to Isaiah 47. So going back to Revelation 19 and 11, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. All right, and why is he judging? He's judging you know how we read in Revelation 18, where it says, Revelation 18 and 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she had filled to her double. So, hey, ultimately, now the Lord is about to judge Babylon the Great for all the wickedness she's wound up doing, man. All right, all those years of plunder, all those years of give me 1 second. All those years of plunder, all those years of rape, robbery, and murder, man, the stabilization of the earth, man, deceits and lies and everything else like that has filled to the rim, all right? Because ultimately, the whole earth is out of whack, man. You know, all this drilling in the earth, drawing all the oil out the earth. Now you got all earthquakes in diverse places, all right? Changing the borders, moving people from this place to that place, all right? Destabilizing people, bringing them far from their heritage, to brainwash them into ways. It's just death cultures around the earth, man. All right, because the further away people are from their homes and their homelands, the further away they get from their so-called heritage, man. And most people, you know what I'm saying, when you go back to the beginning, you know, the very beginning, we was all pretty much, you know, living in this so-called harmony with, you know, a lot of things with earth. But the further and further, you know, Esau was moving people around. Not just Esau, other cultures did it as well, too. But, you know, but Esau ultimately moved people all the way around and changed their heritage and things like that, having people doing certain things that would bring what ultimately a deaf culture unto them, man. All right, having people doing certain things. You know, certain people did certain stuff, just like for instance, the natives wasn't polluting the waterways where, you know, that was around their houses and things like that, their own rivers and water supplies, man. But now all of a sudden they just taking all their trash and polluting it, and their power plants and chemical plants and things like that, pouring it all into the rivers and things like that, polluting every damn thing, killing off the fish, man, killing off the ecosystems and things like that, man. All right, done this to the T, to where, you know, the whole earth is out of whack, man. You got what they call climate change or global warming. Why do you have things like this? Because everything is out of whack, man. All right, to turn your things upside down, for not listening to the following after the ordinance of the planet Earth, man. You over farming and not giving the land Sabbaths and things like that. Now you have what? Foods with no nutrients and no vitamins and things in there. That's why you have to have vitamins and nutrients and things like that, man. All right, because ultimately you've farmed your land, man. You're supposed to leave the land for a land Sabbath, man. All right, you have a certain what do you call, like a jubilee year, man, where people are also forgiven of their debts, but you got people in debt for their whole entire life, man. All right, that's not prosperous on a global economic or even a national economic scale, man. All right, you just keep people in perpetual debt, man. All right, only the rich of the rich keep getting richer, man. You have people that's working day and night, slaving their whole lives away. They don't have enough time to be what they call ingenuitive in this type of cycle that you're living in, where people are only focusing on paying their damn bills. You don't give them the time to use their so-called imagination to come up with so-called new inventions that could help propel the earth, man. All right, if people just had so-called spare and leisure time in their minds, and if they wasn't polluted to just do wickedness and make TikTok videos and shit like that, man, you would have certain people like, you know what, I got this here problem. Let me think of a way of how to solve this here thing, man. This is how inventions was brought up and made from the get-go, man. People had times to think about certain things. I got a problem. Let me think of a way to fix this here problem, man. All right, but nowadays people spend from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed working their primary job, their secondary job, their part-time job, their side hustle, their other side hustle. You know what I'm saying? Doing all these different things, but nevertheless, they don't have time to be innovative no more, man. People don't have time to think outside the box no more, man. People now pay more for what? Convenience. They don't even have time to sit there and cook, man. They go out to these fast food restaurants and just order food because it's quicker for them to just do those things nowadays, man. Because why, man? They don't, you know, they're just being overworked, man. Esau has done all these different things like that, kept them in a perpetual state of debt, man. But hey, his turning of things upside down, all right, is going to be esteemed as the potter's clay, man. All right, his sins have reached all the way unto heaven, man. All right, so now he has to be judged for all these different things, man. All right, his ill-gotten gains, man. He's oppressed the whole damn planet Earth. So now the Most High is about to take his ass out of power and put one up that's profitable, man. Now he's about to set one over the earth that's profitable, man. All right, Yahushua, man, the kingdom of heaven is coming at hand, man. And look, these heathen nations, they're going to love us being in control over them, man. That's why our gates going to be open continuously, and they're going to be willingly bringing their people unto us as slaves unto us, man, because of why? They know we're not going to oppress them, man. Living up under us is going to be more beneficial unto them instead of, like, how the whole world slaves into them. They owe their whole, you know, you got them putting up their, how you call them? Chemical weapon labs into their lands, man. We're not going to be doing those stupid shit like that, man. All right? We're going to be, hey, everybody going to be prospering, man. They're going to be, oh, we'll send our kids over to them. At least they'll learn how to be prosperous and how to be, you know, wiser on the planet Earth and how to do certain things, man. You know, you send your kids over to us, they'll teach them about the dietary laws and everything. Maybe they'll bring it back to us so we don't have to be sitting over here eating abominable things, and now we got, you know, bad reactions to these things. They'll teach us how to eat. They'll teach us how to live. They'll teach us how to farm. They'll teach us the land Sabbaths. They'll teach us everything now like this because of why? Hey, man, we're going to be ruling over top of them. That's a profitable nation, so the whole earth profits. The whole earth is profitable, man. All right, but right now, is the earth being profitable with Esau ruling the whole earth? No, man. You got plastic in all the damn waters, man. All right, the skies are polluted with chemtrails and things like that, man. You got all kind of, what you call, radio waves or whatever, vibrations going on around the earth with your Wi-Fi and your internet and all kind of shit, man. You got massive amounts of birds falling up the skies all over the place, man. Hey, because birds got an internal GPS system inside their skulls, man. All right? Which tell them, hey, it's time to migrate at this point in time or that point in time and how to fly north and everything. But guess what, man? With all this technology that they got going on, the Wi-Fi, the 4G, the 5G, and all these different things, man, birds are losing their migration paths and falling out the sky and flying to the wrong areas, man. You got whales and dolphins and things like that beaching themselves and things like that, man. All right, it's supposed to be a straight up ecosystem, man. It's flowing and feeding itself, man. You got fruit that's producing fruit with no seeds in them, man. You have all these different things that's coming upon the earth. There's nothing but death and destruction, man. You got, you know, different insects and animals that's being brought up out of their actual habitations and their actual places. That's in other places that are what they call invasive species, man. And you have other animals that don't sit there and eat them. Like down here in Florida, you have these, what they call those pythons and big-ass snakes out there. Hey, man, there ain't nothing out there eating them big-ass snakes. Them snakes out there eating everything else that's out there in the Everglades, man. Eating up the alligators, eating up every damn thing, man. And what happens, man? You done brought these snakes over here as pets. And people will do what? They let them go. And then what? They get bigger. Like a snake, he gonna get as big. Certain snakes, like pythons and shit, they get as big as their environment. So if you keep them in a small ass cage, you know, these snakes that grow to like 15, 16 feet, they ain't gonna get no bigger than as big as they little. You got a 10-gallon tank, he only gonna get like 1 foot, 2 foot big. But you let that nigga grow in your bathroom, in the bathtub, he gonna get about 14, 15 feet, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is Esau's doing, man. He's turning the things upside down, man. All right, him not following after the ordinance, changing all the ordinances and things like that, man. All right, your sins have reached unto heaven, man. You've got everything out of whack, man. All right, you're turning the things upside down. It's gonna be esteemed as a potter's clay. This is why the Lord has to come and demolish all these things and set up one that's profitable on the earth, man. Because look what you've done. All right, you've destroyed the whole earth, man. So let's go back to the scriptures, man. In Isaiah or Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he does judge and make war. And that's why it says it in righteousness, man. All right, taking this here, the reins of this here earth away from the wicked, man. All right, because look, man, you can ask every nation on the face of the earth if they really happy the way things are going, man. They really happy how life is. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I'm content with it, but are you really happy with that, man? Just like most people in their marriages and things like that, most people are content in their marriages, but not most people aren't really happy with their marriages. If you can ask them, granted, some people could say that they want extra things, but it's really going to destroy them. But, you know, or with certain jobs and things like, yeah, I'm content with my job. Yeah, they pay a whole lot, but granted, I got to work 80 hours a week. I wish I didn't have to work 80 hours a week, but, I mean, they do pay a lot, but I got to work 80 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, if you could be happy, what would it be? Well, if I had a balance of work life, you know, a trade-off, you know what I'm saying? I can work maybe 35, 40 hours a week, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even less than that, let's say 32 hours a week, and make what I'm making is if I'm making 80 hours, you know what I'm saying, and pay all my bills and have time to spend with my kids and everything else, I'd be happy then. That's akin to what? Esau ruling the earth, working 80 hours a week and still living paycheck to paycheck, and you still got a Uber on the side, versus the Lord. Like, look, man, hey, you got to work for your own household to feed yourself, man. It's not like you, I mean, now they are going to be paying tribute unto us, but, hey, this is not going to be how Esau has everybody oppressed, where you paying, in some places, you paying close to damn 50% of your damn income in certain places, man. All right, how the hell is like, yo, if I make $100 off of this here work that I'm doing, I got to pay upwards of $50 to your ass, man. You didn't put in the work. How come I got to pay all these here, what they call taxes and tribute unto you, man? I don't even have enough for my own self, man. But then the riches of the rich, the elites and things like that, they're paying the least amount in taxes, man. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and everybody, Apple and all them, they paying way less or not paying taxes at all, man. How the hell does Donald Trump bring in way more money than me, all right, with his businesses, but yet I pay more taxes than this nigga, man? You see what I'm saying? Like, what kind of BS is that, man? The majority of the people was out there doing the same exact thing, but hey, this is Esau's doings, man. That's why the Lord is going forth in righteousness to judge and to make war, man. Taking out of the way this unprofitable servant that's ruling over the whole earth, man. Taking the wicked. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked, man. All right, and so now the earth is being taken out of the hands of the wicked, man. All right, going back, Revelation 19 and 12, his eyes were as the flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself. All right, and so, hey, and on his head was these many crowns. Why did he have these many crowns? Because he's taking rulership from these different people. Revelation 19 and 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed with him, and upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, and tread at the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty. And he hath the name on his vesture, and on his thigh was written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So ultimately, you know, he's going to go forth to wage war and to take the crowns off the heads of these kings, man. So this is why, hey, we was reading Isaiah 47. Thou shalt, there is no throne. All right, you're being taken up out of that power seat, man, because you're an unprofitable ruler, man. You've taken peace from the earth, man. You've turned everything upside down, man. You've destroyed every damn thing, man. You're no longer useful. The world needs new management, man. You can no longer have the world is no longer gonna be waiting wickedness no more, man. Now it's time for that righteous kingdom to come in and spread upon the earth, man. For everybody to live in righteousness, man. The whole world is lamenting, mourning, and woe right now. Everybody is mourning right now, man. Everybody's in a messed up position, predicament. All these nations are messed up, man. All right, you Americans look at these other nations. Oh, nah, them niggas is poor over there. Them hellhole countries and everything else like that. Hey, man, why don't you sober up? America's the same way, man. All right, America's a big, giant, third world country, man, where you got to put how they call it, like a metal detector type of thing, security systems on the meat inside the damn grocery store so people don't walk about the grocery store with the stolen meat, man. All right, crime rates is sky high. You got all these, you know, you just had, at first it was like just Skid Row, but now you have multiple countries. You can go on YouTube walking downtown this city at night, All right, you have people that just walk through these cities at night and it's just look like a bunch of homeless people all around. People all strung out on drugs, man. You got your government giving out safe drug kits to be shooting up heroin and meth and shit like that day in and day out, man. Free crack pipes to everybody, man. All right, because look, hey, this nation, hey, the majority of you people here are on antidepressants, man. This is a fucking nation full of drug users, man. Everybody's on some kind of damn drugs, antidepressant, cigarettes, alcohol, some kind of goddamn antidepressant. Why? Because they all bugged the fuck out here, man. They all depressed, man. They all oppressed in their own household, man. Man, we're not gonna go too far into this goddamn devil, man, because we hear all goddamn day about his wickedness. But nevertheless, hey, this is why the Lord has to take him about his rulership, man. All right, because hey, man, you even got the damn the wicked out here sighing and crying over this bullshit, man. When you got the wicked out here sighing and crying for the wickedness that's done out here. Well, let me read that again, man. Where's that? Let me read that real quick. When you got the wicked out here sighing and crying, this is a problem, man. It's a major problem. Isaiah 24. Let me read this. It says Isaiah 24 and 3. It's Isaiah 24 and 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The proud of the earth, they do languish. They done. They no longer proud no more. They feeling. You got these people that's calling other people niggas in hellhole countries looking around like, man, America's done. They got sayings like build America back again, or build back better, or make America great again. If you got to make America great again, what is that signaling? That your shit is a hellhole country now, man. How the hell you calling everybody else a hellhole country now? You talking about something, you got to make it great again, man. All right, in fact,